Hi everybody, I'm Mr. Bouzid. Today I'm going to carry on with the same unit 4, No Man is an Island. Today let's talk about grammar, okay? Our lesson today is reported speech, part 1. Right. So, if you do remember, we saw this sentence in the previous lesson. Typhoon Haiyan killed over 6,000 people. Alright? So, let's study this sentence through these questions. Question A. When did you say this sentence? Do you remember the date of that disaster? Who made this statement? Okay? A. So, this sentence, or it's about a disaster that hit the Philippines. The date in 2013. And the journalist is the one who made this statement. Good. Let's carry on. Let's study now the structure. The structure of this sentence or this statement, and then we try to turn it into reported speech. Okay. Point number 1. As you have noticed, this is a direct statement, and it is between quotation marks. All right? It is between quotation marks. Second point. We have the journalist says. This is, or this part, I mean this part is the introductory clause. And it contains the reporting verb, which is says. Alright? Third point, if I change it, or if I turn it into reported speech, I can say, the journalist says that Typhoon Haiyan killed 6,000 people. Okay? So, at the end, we have changed this quote, which is in the direct speech, into indirect or reported speech. You should note one thing, that quotation marks here are not used in reported speech. Okay? Contrary to direct speech, where we used quotation marks or inverted commas, in reported speech, we have omitted them. Good. There are many, in addition to say, or besides say, there are other reporting verbs that you can meet or that you can use. So let's see them. So here we have different lists of different reporting verbs that we can use to make reported speech. But the most common ones are say and tell. But in addition to say and tell, you can find others. Some of them are neutral. It means they are used for different purposes. We have declare, announce, statements, and so on and so forth. Some of them are used to give explanation. So they are explanatory. Explain, clarify, define, and so on. Revelatory, when we want to reveal something. We have reveal, confess, so on and so forth. We have cautious, like think, claim, allege. We have, when we give judgment, we can use this list. And don't worry for this, you are not expected to know or to use all these verbs. Your main focus should be on say and tell, right? Now, coming back to the previous change that we made. Rule number 1, no back shift. No back shift. It means we mustn't or we shouldn't go backward. Do not change the tense if the introductory clause is in the present tense. I mean this clause, where you have the introductory or the reporting verbs. So if the reporting verb is in the present, no need to go back to the past. But in spite of that, we have to make some changes. You might have to change the form of the present tense verb. For example, third person singular. From the first person to the third person singular form. Let's see an example. He says, for example, here we say, he says, I'm happy. So you have the first person singular. Whereas when we say he says that, it's illogical to say I. So we have to use he. Automatically when we use he, we will change also the verb. Okay, to be in the third person singular. We say am, but when we have he or she, we say is. So to sum up, though we don't change the tense, but we can make some changes at the level of the personal pronouns and even. Here we have an example in which we see that we haven't changed the tense. The only thing that we have changed is the form of the verb. It means we have to use the third singular form and we have used he instead of I. Alright? So be careful. Though we don't have to go backward, it means to the past, but we have to make some changes. Right. Now we have a new, another sentence, or the previous sentence that we saw in the past, but with a little bit more change. The journalist said that Typhoon Haiyan killed 6,000 people. So, when we change this sentence to the reported speech, we say, the journalist said that Typhoon Haiyan had killed. Okay? Have you seen the difference? Here we have killed. Here we see, we have...
On arrête, pourquoi?
Had killed. Bon. Quel niveau?
Direct, report the sentence.
Report the sentence.
C'est pas direct la phrase, la première phrase, elle n'est pas directe.
Ah oui.
Elle n'est pas directe.
Oui.
C'est direct.
Ça. During pause.
Oui, bien sûr.
During pause.
Très bien.
Right. So let's see here we have the same sentence, but be careful. The reporting verb is in the past. So if we change it to reported speech, we say the journalist said that Typhoon Haiyan had killed. Okay? So since the reporting verb is in the past, automatically we have to go backward in the past. So rule number 2, here we have to apply backshift. Okay? We said in the first one, no backshift, but now there is backshift. You must change the tense if the introductory clause is in the past tense. And here we have, he said. Example, I'm happy. He said that he was happy. Have you seen? Here we have changed completely the tense. Right. Here are some changes that may occur when the reporting verb is in the past. So, for example, present simple, we get past simple, present continuous, past continuous, present. So, always we go backward, okay, from present to past. And when we have past simple or past perfect, we use for both past perfect. Will, would, can, could. Now let's try to change these sentences to reported speech. Okay, I let you a few seconds to read the first one. Okay, let's change it. Right. So here, since the reporting verb is in the present, reports, so no backshift or no change of the tense. Number 2, yes, here the reporting verb is in the past. Automatically, we have to go to so when we have the past, we go to the past perfect. If we come back to the table that we have seen right before, past simple, it means always from present to past, and from past to past perfect. Now let's go to a task. change to reported speech. So here we have some sentences in direct speech. We try to change them to reported speech. Sentence 1. Typhoon Haiyan was one of the most destructive storms in history, the journalist reports. Be careful here, the reporting verb is in the present. So let's see how to change it. The journalist reports that Typhoon Haiyan was one of the most destructive storms in history. So we have seen that we haven't changed the verb, the tense, because the reporting verb is in the present. It killed over 6,000 people, he wrote. So how do we make it? We say, he wrote that it had killed. Alright? Because the reporting verb is in the past, automatically we change the tense. It means we go backward from past simple to past perfect. And by the way, the past perfect is composed of had plus the past participle of the verb. Okay? Or ed for regular verbs. Sentence 3, the storm struck on 8 November 2013, he notes. So we say, he knows that the storm struck on November 2013. Here also no change at the level of the verb, because the reporting verb is in the present. The sentence 4, there has been a huge response, he added. So we say, he had added, there had been a huge response. So from present perfect, have or has plus past participle, to past perfect, had plus past participle. Because the reporting verb is in the past. So present perfect changes to past perfect. And finally, charities and aid agencies around the world will raise money. He continued. So, he continued that charities and aid agencies around the world would raise. Because the reporting verb is in the past, automatically will becomes would. So, will raise, we say would raise. So, all in all, when the reporting verb is in the present, no change or no backshift, but when the reporting verb is in the past, there must be a backshift. Right. Let's go now to part 2. Now we are going to focus on questions, on how to report or the reported questions. First of all, we start with yes or no question. So let's study this sentence in direct speech, or this quote. Have you experienced a disaster? The journalist asked people. Alright? So here it's yes or no question, or we call it also auxiliary question, because there the answer it can be either yes or no. So when we change it to reported speech, we say the journalist asked people if. So here we have to insert a new word which is if, and we still keep the same changes of the tenses. It means past simple has become past perfect. Okay, and maybe also you have noticed some change at the level of the structure of the sentence. So here we have used interrogative form, it means auxiliary subject verb. Here we have used affirmative form, subject verb preceded with if. This is what we did. This type of question is reported by using ask plus if, ask plus if. We can also use whether instead of if plus the clause. Okay? So, same like a reported statement, we omit the quotation marks, and instead of putting a question mark, because this is a direct question, here we put a full stop, because it's an indirect question, reported question. Good. As for WH questions, we have an example here. What did people do during the disaster? Okay, the journalist asked. Here it's a WH question because, as you know, WH questions start normally with WH or with how. So, They are like auxiliary questions, except for the beginning. We start with WH word. So when we report, we say the journalist asked people what they had done during the disaster. So we keep the same WH word, but we invert. Instead of starting with an auxiliary, we don't start with an auxiliary, we start with a subject. And we omit the auxiliary did. So this type of question is reported by using ask or another verb, like we can use ask or require or wanted to know. There are many other questions, or questioned plus question word plus the clause. Question word here mean, come back please, question word here mean WH word. You can call it WH word or question word or interrogative pronoun. Yes? Here we have to note two important points. First point, no question mark, as I said it. Okay? At the end of a reported question, we simply put a full stop because it's no longer a direct question. Point number two. So, remember, when we have do, or does, or did, the first thing you must do is to omit them. Once they are omitted, start directly with the subject and the verb. Right? Let's have a quick practice through this task. A, or number one. What is a tsunami? The boy asked his father. So when we change it, we say, the boy asked his father what a tsunami was. What is a tsunami? What a tsunami was. So we keep the WH word or the question word, but we don't start with the verb. We start with the subject first, then the verb afterwards. So we say what a tsunami was. And because here we have the present and the reporting verb is the past, we use here was. Sentence 2. Which part of the country was mostly affected by tsunami? The man is asking. The man is asking which part of the country was mostly affected by tsunami. So, as we did, the question word first, okay, the subject, the verb in the past, okay, the verb, as you have noticed, hasn't changed. Why? Because the reporting verb is in the present. So was, we use was, plus the rest of the sentence. How fast can the tsunami travel? He asked. Or he asked him. He asked him how fast the tsunami could travel. So, first, remember the reporting verb is in the past. Automatically, can has become could. And the reporting verb, here the question word is how. So we start with how. We have a lot of structures like this. How fast, how long, how high, how wide. So we use, it means we use how plus the adjective. So how fast, how fast. How old, how old. How long, how long. Okay? It means we keep the adjective that follow or that follows the auxiliary, the question word doesn't change the position. Alright? And the last one is the tsunami dangerous. So here be careful, it's a yes or no question. We say he asked him if the tsunami was dangerous. Okay? Because here we have past, the reported verb is in the past, automatically there should be also was instead of is. Clear? So, let's sum up this very quickly. The main thing that you should return in your mind is that when you change a question to direct speech, to indirect speech, sorry, it's no longer a question. Okay? It becomes an affirmative. In the affirmative form. And when we start with do, does, and did, the first thing we should do is to omit them. I hope you have benefited from this lesson. Thank you very much for your attention and take care. Bye.